Welcome to the Deep Dive, where we take complex source materials, strip away the noise, and deliver the essential, surprising takeaways directly to you.
Today we're investigating a concept that touches, well, everything. From the highest level of athletic performance to the quality of your closest relationships. We're talking about the hidden systems of intentionality.
Yeah, we're asking what separates the master from the amateur.
Exactly. I mean, think about it.
What does an unstoppable basketball move, or say, Bruce Lee's devastating punch,
Right.
and a genuinely empathetic conversation all have in common?
They all rely on these highly coordinated, often invisible systems. They're built through relentless, focused intention. They absolutely do not happen by accident.
And our deep dive today is tailored to help you uncover those systems. We're moving through three distinct but connected domains.
First up, the blueprint of physical mastery. We're looking at figures like Kobe Bryant and Bruce Lee.
Then we get into the invisible science of personal space and attention, a field called cognitive proxemics.
And finally, we'll analyze how those same intentional systems can elevate our communication, our dating lives, our relationships.
Our mission is simple: to give you the knowledge to go from being a casual participant to really an informed master in every interaction you have. So let's jump right in.
Okay, section 1, the blueprint of physical mastery.
And we have to start with Kobe Bryant's self-coined philosophy, the Mamba mentality.
And this wasn't just some marketing slogan, it was literally an organizational system for him.
Right, it came from a really specific time in his life.
A really difficult time. Around 2003, 2004, he created this alter ego, the Black Mamba, to compartmentalize his life, separate himself from all the noise, and just structure his focus on one thing.
The infinite quest to be the best version of himself.
That's it.
I think the most powerful takeaway here is that it's not just, a declaration of I'm intense. It's a detailed, systematic approach. It turns intensity into 5 core pillars.
It proves that mastery is built on specific steps, not just raw effort. And the first pillar is passion. You have to love the process.
Even the boring stuff.
Especially the boring, repetitive little things. If you don't love the thousands of hours in the gym, it just won't last. The second is obsession.
That extreme attention to detail.
Yes, where every single facet of the game, of the process, is scrutinized.
Then there's relentlessness. This is the one everyone quotes, but it's probably the hardest to actually execute.
For sure, never settling. His rule was rest at the end, not in the middle. It's about viewing every single moment as an opportunity to push forward.
And the final 2 are so crucial for longevity. Resiliency.
Which means treating failure not as a roadblock, but as like a critical learning experience.
And then fearlessness.
He famously said he just could not and would not process the fear of failure. If you're afraid to fail, you are basically predetermining your own failure.
Fearlessness means putting your whole heart and soul into it, no matter what the outcome might be.
And the impact of this whole intentional system is just massive. You see it everywhere in LinkedIn.
Yeah, the sources are pretty staggering. They say something like 70 to 80% of current NBA players are actively citing Kobe's mentality as inspiration.
We even have the numbers. 23 players wear number 8, 10 of them specifically for him. 7 wear number 24 for him.
That's a measurable legacy, a direct line of intentional influence.
And it wasn't just about his own game. He intentionally turned that same drive outward. He became this fierce advocate for women's basketball.
Which led to the Kobe and Gigi Bryant WNBA Advocacy Award.
Exactly. The system of excellence he built, it just extended far beyond the court.
Okay, now let's talk biomechanics, because that mental intentionality translated directly into physical perfection.
We looked at 2 examples of these unstoppable moves.
Yeah.
Kobe's fadeaway jumper and Bruce Lee's one-inch punch. Both are just masterpieces of physical intentionality.
And incredible economy of motion.
The fadeaway, which both Kobe and Michael Jordan perfected, it's all about creating maximum separation.
Getting space from the defender.
Right. And what's fascinating about Kobe's version is how intentional his technique was. He wanted absolute technical perfection.
Wait, let's pause on the origin story for a second. This is where it gets really interesting. How did he nail that balance?
It's amazing. He studied a hunting cheetah on the Discovery Channel.
A cheetah?
Yeah. He used the animal's tail as a model for how he should use his leg like a rudder for perfect stability and balance in midair.
That is next level obsession.
It really is. Now, of course, you have the comparison point. Michael Jordan. His fadeaway is often called more surgical, more efficient. He used his superior hang time. But Kobe's version is seen is turning the move into an art.
Because of his ability to hit those incredibly difficult, highly contested shots from anywhere.
Exactly. And for anyone focused purely on the efficiency metrics.
The stats guys.
Yeah, the stats guys. We should note that Kobe's true shooting percentage, his TS+, was actually above the league average for the vast majority of his career right up until his Achilles injury.
And that's while being the #1 focus of every single defense he faced. It's a testament to the system.
Totally. So now, moving from the court to the dojo, we find that same level of biomechanical intentionality in Bruce Lee's one-inch punch.
It just defies logic when you see it. It seems to generate this massive force from, no distance at all.
How does he do it? It feels like turning a tap on a soda can into a detonation.
So what's the physics?
It relies on maximizing energy transfer and exploiting two key biological elements. First, stiff tendons.
Stiff, not elastic. That seems wrong.
I know, but unlike elastic tendons that store energy slowly, stiff tendons act more like steel cables. They transfer force much, much faster.
Okay, so it's about speed of delivery.
Exactly. And second, he's using his type 2 muscle fibers, the fast twitch ones, built for quick acceleration and power.
But the real magic is the coordination, right? The energy transfer has to be perfect.
It's everything. He pushes off the ground, generating what they call ground reaction force. Sources estimate around 300 pounds of it, and he ensures that force travels in a perfectly direct path from his back foot through his body and boom, into the target. His muscles tighten in this rapid sequence. It acts like a Newton's cradle.
So there's no wasted energy. A typical punch pivots or unwinds, but this minimizes that completely.
It's almost pivot-free, and the timing and coordination required for this are linked directly to the amount of white matter in the brain.
The brain's information superhighway.
The superhighway, yeah. It relays signals at over 250 miles per hour. That efficient neural infrastructure is what allows this whole physical system to work so quickly and so efficiently.
So whether it's Kobe using a cheetah's balance or Bruce Lee coordinating neural pathways at high speed.
The unifying idea is that mastery is a full-body system of pure intentionality.
But that intentionality isn't just physical, and that brings us perfectly to Section 2, the science of hidden space and attention.
Right, we're bridging from the physical to the psychological.
Most people have heard of Edward Hall's idea of proxemics from the 60s. You know, how we use physical space.
The intimate zone, 0 to 18 inches, that kind of thing, is all tied to comfort, safety, emotional regulation.
But here's where it gets really interesting. There's a new conceptual construct called cognitive proxemics, CP.
Okay, so CP integrates how our mental representations of space, so what's in our head, influences our actual physiological reaction, our arousal.
And that then guides how we behave in physical space.
You got it.
That sounds a little abstract. Can you give me a real-world example of how that works?
Okay, think of it this way. Your brain is constantly rehearsing danger or comfort before it physically happens. The hippocampus is building spatial maps, whether the scene is real, remembered, or completely invented.
So if you're imagining a threatening situation,
your internal simulation can set off physiological alarms, raise your tension level, just as if someone was actually standing too close to you in the real world.
So it's not just about the space out there, it's about the space we're simulating in here.
Precisely. And we see proof in studies. Individuals with high social anxiety rated interpersonal distances, even just a meter away, as less pleasant and more arousing.
And you can measure this.
Oh yeah. They showed increased skin conductance, which is a measurable physiological warning signal for tension. And they often show this measurable backward movement to avoid getting too close.
Wow. So that little step back is your brain's intentional system overriding social norms to protect its internal space.
And that leads us right into the intentional management of attention, which links directly to the world of magic and mentalism.
Right, because magic is all about manipulating perception.
So much so that psychologists now use their methods to study human cognition. Every trick has two parts. The effect, what you, the audience, consciously experience.
And the method, the secret stuff.
The secret stuff, the covert manipulation. And the system connecting the two is misdirection.
That's the tool magicians use to divert your attention away from the method.
Right. It can be a grand gesture, loud music, or even just some simple chatter. The whole point is to overload your attention so the secret move goes unnoticed. It's a total control system over your mental space.
So if we can intentionally control attention physically, we need to apply that same rigor to controlling intent socially, which is our bridge to Section 3. intentionality in communication and relationships.
We often think of communication as a soft skill,
Yeah.
but it's built on hard, deliberate, intentional systems, just like that one-inch punch,
And the most foundational example has to be active listening.
which is so often misunderstood. People think it just means being quiet while someone else talks.
But that's passive. So how do we actually operationalize active listening?
The core principle is approaching a conversation with a genuine, relentless desire to understand the other person's perspective, without judgment.
The active part is deliberately avoiding evaluation or jumping in with advice until you fully grasp their emotional landscape.
It's a huge mindset shift. Moving from just waiting to speak to genuinely seeking to understand. There's that great quote, be curious, not judgmental.
So if we want to operate from that curious mindset, what are, say, 3 specific things we should intentionally avoid saying?
That's an excellent question. Okay, first, avoid cues with significations, like saying, I know, or let me stop you right there.
Right.
Second, avoid immediately launching into a similar story about yourself. That just shifts the focus away from them. And third, maybe the most important, avoid minimizing their feelings with phrases like, oh, it's not that bad.
So if Bruce Lee's punch maximizes energy transfer, active listening maximizes emotional transfer.
That's a great way to put it. You're creating this perfect pivot-free channel for their emotions and information to reach you without being deflected by your own ego.
And the benefits are real. Fewer misunderstandings, less conflict.
And people just report feeling significantly more understood. It builds real connection.
And humor is another place this applies. It's a social shortcut. It creates a shared worldview, breaks down awkwardness.
And you can see the parallel to magic in the techniques. First, there's misdirection in comedy. Setting up an expectation for something to go one way.
And then pulling the rug out, going another way entirely.
Like playing with numbers and scale. Framing a large number small or vice versa. Saying something like, I tried to get a few groceries, but the checkout line was only half a mile long.
The misdirection is the scale, and it creates that sudden, satisfying cognitive shift.
And the second technique, which is amazing for building intentional intimacy, is the callback.
Right, throwing a previously told joke or a shared moment back into the conversation later on.
It instantly creates this shared sense of intimacy, like a private language that only you two understand. It says, I was paying attention. I remember us.
So we've been talking about all these intentional systems for excellence and connection. But what happens when that intentionality gets weaponized in relationships?
We have to use this same framework to spot the difference between healthy interest and a toxic system. Which brings us to love bombing.
The dark side.
It's intentional manipulation disguised as rapid affection. It's designed to overwhelm your system. And the red flags are clear.
Intense affection way too soon.
Demands for constant attention and reciprocation. And, crucially, it creates this intense sense of urgency.
That sense of urgency is the control mechanism, isn't it? It makes you feel like if you don't comply, if you don't match their pace, they'll leave.
It's an intentional narrative designed to disorient you. Genuine affection, on the other hand, operates on a totally different system.
It grows steadily. It nurtures without all these unrealistic expectations.
And, most importantly, it respects boundaries. It respects that individual space we talked about with cognitive proxemics.
And here is the absolute tell, the red flag. In a genuine relationship, expressing your needs or setting a boundary won't scare someone away.
If you set a boundary and they pull back their affection or try to make you feel guilty for it, that is a clear sign you're being manipulated, not genuinely pursued.
Recognizing that difference empowers you to protect your emotional health. And it lets you grieve what really happened, not the story you made up in your head about who you hoped they were.
So what does this all mean for you?
The big takeaway from this deep dive is that whether we're talking about basketball, personal space, or relationships, excellence and real connection are never accidental.
They are the result of mastering these invisible, intentional systems.
We've traced these systems from the biomechanics of how stiff tendons create a powerful jumper,
To how the management of our internal arousal dictates our movement, and how we can use deliberate social moves like active listening or a well-timed callback.
the intense, focused journey, that intentional process that truly is the dream that produces the results.
And that's where we'll leave you, with a final thought to mull over.
If Bruce Lee's ability to coordinate physical force relies on the incredible speed of information traveling across the brain, does the ability to master complex social moves, active listening, and genuine humor rely on a similarly well-developed, highly intentional internal system for processing empathy and emotional space?
What are you doing today to hone the invisible mechanics of your own interactions, both physical and social? Thanks for joining us for the deep dive.